Welcome, devotees, to the first episode of our spiritual journey, a journey to uncover the profound mysteries of Lord Jagannath, the elegant Lord of the universe. Today, we begin at the very beginning. How did it all start? What is the primordial origin of the Lord God? Long before the towering spires of the Sri Mandir touched the skies of Puri, there was only the ocean and the dense forests of Nila, the Blue Mountain. And somewhere, hidden deep within these woods, was a secret. To understand the birth of Jagannath, we must first go back to the ancient era of Satya Yuga, and to a king with a burning desire. He was King Indradyumna, a powerful monarch of the Surya dynasty, ruling over the majestic lands of Avantipura, modern-day Ujjain in Mawa. He had heard the stories from a wandering sage who visited his court. The king learned of a breathtaking deity, a divine blue lord named Nila Madhava, hidden in the jungle and secretly worshipped by the humble Sabara tribal people. Hearing this, King Indradyumna, a devout worshipper of Lord Vishnu, became obsessed. He could not rest, he could not eat. He had to see this Lord with his own eyes. He sent many men to search for the hidden deity, but every one of them returned, defeated. Finally, only his trusted priest, Sri Vidyapati, had not returned. Weeks passed, no news, but Vidyapati was relentless. He eventually ventured into the deep hills of Odisha. There, he met the Sabara tribal chief, Vishwakarma. By a stroke of divine planning, Vidyapati ended up marrying the chief's daughter, earning his trust. Through his father-in-law, Vidyapati finally entered the secret cave and found the magnificent, worshipable form of Nila Madhava. But before he could return with the king, the deity vanished to a place unknown. And so, a celestial voice from the heavens instructed the king. It said, "Build a magnificent temple on the Miladri hill." And the Lord, it promised, would appear to him once more, not of stone, but in a wondrous new form that would shake the entire universe. And that is exactly what happened. One night, in a divine vision, Lord Vishnu appeared in King Indradyumna's dream. He told the king that the material to create his form would be found on the shores of the ocean at a place called Bankamuhana in Puri. It would be a sacred floating log of neem wood. The very next morning, the king rushed to the shore, and there it was, a massive perfumed log of neem wood. For the devotees, know that this log is not ordinary matter. This is Daru Brahma. It is the Lord himself personified in wood, carrying the very essence of the Supreme. But there was a problem. The king called the finest sculptors from across his kingdom. But no matter how hard they tried, their chisels and tools broke the moment they touched the wood. Every attempt to carve the Lord into shape failed. The king was devastated. But then, a miracle. An old, mysterious carpenter with a divine glow appeared at the palace gates. He confidently told the king, "I will carve the idol." This carpenter, as devotees know, was a disguise. He was none other than Lord Vishwakarma, the architect of the gods, the divine engineer of the entire cosmos, the one who designed the universe. However, Vishwakarma had one strict condition. He told the king, "Lock me in this workshop. Do not disturb me. Do not open the door for 21 days. I will complete the work alone, in silence." Days turned into weeks. The king and queen, Gandicha, could hear the sound of the chisel and hammer from inside. They grew anxious. The sounds were loud at first, but around the 14th day, the noise fell, eerily silent. Queen Gandicha could not bear the silence. She feared the old man might be dead or lying hurt. She begged the king to open the door. The king, driven by curiosity and fear, gave in. With trembling hands, the king unsealed the heavy wooden doors and stepped inside. When they entered, there was no carpenter. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. Instead, sitting on a golden platform with 3 idols. They were beautiful, majestic, but incomplete. There were no hands, there were no feet. The god's limbs were left unfinished. The idols of Lord Jagannath, Balabhadra, and Subhadra stared back at the king. But before the king could mourn his mistake or weep over the unfinished form, the heavens opened. A divine voice echoed across the hall, the voice of Lord Brahma himself, or the Supreme Lord. The voice said, "Do not grieve, O king. This is not a mistake. This is my true form. This is how I wish to be seen. Your work did not fail. You succeeded in bringing the Lord of the universe to the world." With his divine command, Lord Brahma himself performed the first official puja and consecrated the temple. He declared that from this day onward, these very forms, with those large eyes symbolizing all-seeing divine vigilance, and those stumps representing the formless infinite, would be worshipped as Lord Jagannatha, Lord Balabhadra, and Devi Subhadra. This is why the Lord of the universe, Jagannath, is not carved from marble or cast in bronze. He is the Daru Brahma, the divine wood. This is why his chiseled image does not look like the traditional statues of Krishna holding a flute. He is the Lord transformed by the ecstasy of infinite love. And so, the legend was born. The sacred city of Puri became the eternal dwelling of the Ekanta deity, the Lord, who makes himself available to every humble soul without any distinction of caste or creed. The wheel of time began turning around him. And that wheel, that mighty chariot, would soon give the world a new word, Jagannath. But that is a story for another episode. Did you enjoy the mystical birth of the Lord of Puri? In the next episode of our series, we dive deeper into the story of Vishwakarma and explore the deeper spiritual symbolism of why the Lord prefers to keep his hands hidden. Until then, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath.